Picture this. For 90 days, every single day, I committed 30 minutes to improving my harmonica bends. It wasn't all plain sailing. There was frustration, there were doubts, but there were moments of triumph. And through it all, I've learned a thing or two about hitting those melodic notes spot on every time. I'm going to share with you the real-life lessons I've picked up along the way. From the unexpected challenges to the surprising breakthroughs, we're diving deep into the heart of harmonica bends. So, was it worth it? Stick around and let's find out. If you're new here, I'm Liam, a professional harmonica player and teacher. On this channel, I help you learn to play the harmonica by sharing free lessons, tips and tricks. Subscribe if you want up-to-date harmonica lessons. Before I tell you all about my 90-day stint of focused practice on bends, let's cover the basics. Bends are what give the harmonica that wailing, bluesy sound. The diatonic harmonica, aka the blues harp, is built to play simple folk melodies, so it's actually missing a lot of notes. But fear not, you can fill in some of the gaps by using your mouth and your tongue to retune existing notes and create whole new tones that wouldn't otherwise be available. This is called bending. There are lots of secret notes on the harmonica, all accessed through bending. If you want to go into more detail about bending, check out my video all about which notes will bend on the harmonica. I've been playing the harmonica for 18 years, but I wanted to see if I could improve my bends, making sure that I hit them accurately as melodic notes every single time. I managed it, and I've come up with a 5-step plan to help you master them too. But probably more important than the 5-step plan is what I learned during this challenge. Firstly, I learned that setting myself a challenge kept me really motivated. On days where I felt tired or practice wasn't going great, I knew that I just had to get to the end of the 90 days. And it made me think a lot about the best ways to get motivated and stay motivated. I've got a video all about how you motivate yourself to learn the harmonica, so check it out. I also learned that practice really does make perfect. The more I practiced, the better I became. And I've been bending on the harmonica for a long time. Even from a solid base, if I do say so myself, practicing pushed me beyond my comfort limits, and the outcomes were great. I felt energized, and it was super fun. Okay, only super fun to geeky harmonica players. Weirdly, focusing on bends, a really specific thing for extended periods, actually gave me the opportunity to reflect on my wider progress, techniques and areas for improvement. I gained a better understanding of my strengths and my weaknesses, and from there, I've refined my practice system. Reflecting also means that I was able to come up with this 5-step plan for bending, which is really going to help you. But first, here's some footage of me failing and getting frustrated. I'm showing you this so you can see how important and necessary to the learning process failing is. If you're just starting out, it might take you a long time to get bending. And if you've been playing for a while, there'll still be periods of frustration. These failures are what propel us forward. Anyway, enough about failure, and let's move on to my 5-step plan. Step 1, find your center. Bending notes is all achieved inside the body, so you wouldn't know what to do simply from looking at another player. Lucky for you, I'm giving you the secrets in this video, but before we get on to the crux of the technique, you'll need to find a quiet room, calm your breathing, and focus on your mouth, your lips, and your throat. You need to be centered on what's happening there in order to create the perfect environment for a bend to be produced. This isn't newfangled spiritual fluff. I actually found over the 90 days that my bending improved massively when I had a proper practice space and focused, relaxed mind. You genuinely can't bend notes unless you can make micro adjustments inside your mouth, so you need to be aware of what you're doing in order to make this technique work. Now let's get on with the technique. Step 2, get mouthy. What struck me repeatedly over the practice period is that to get better bends, your mouth, tongue and airflow need to work together to make the note move. We'll start with the mouth. So play a 4-draw, ideally on a C harmonica, and then try gradually shifting your mouth from an R to an OO while continuing to play that 4-draw note. You're listening out to see if the note moves down in pitch. If the note stays the same, don't worry. Stop, slow down the movement, and try to pay close attention to what you're doing. Going through this process slowly will ironically make it happen much quicker. Step 3 will add an extra layer of technique to help the note to move. Step 3, drink your milkshake. The next thing to consider is air pressure. Imagine you're slurping a milkshake with a straw. Don't pull the air, but increase the air pressure. It's more about adding a little bit of tension rather than using brute force. During my 90-day practice regime, I found that I needed just a little extra pressure, but not too much, that I would be pressurizing the reeds. Again, listen out for the note getting lower. Try to focus intensely on what you're doing. Your ears are your most important tool as a musician, so make sure you use them at all times. If the note still isn't moving, that's okay. Step 4 is going to help. Step 4, slip of the tongue. Perhaps the most important mechanism of bending is using your tongue. You need to create a tongue shape which allows the air to flow at the right angle and creates a cavity for the note to be produced at a lower pitch. That's the bend. Your aim is to create a hump, like the one on a camel's back. So try gently and slowly dragging your tongue back along the base of your mouth from the tip to bring the middle and the rear upwards. Make sure you're doing this slowly because there's a sweet spot here. If you don't go far enough, then it won't work. But if you drag your tongue back too far, you won't get the bend either. As before, listen intensely to the note and see if it's getting lower. Be patient with this step. It's probably the most crucial aspect of the process and will need to be right if you're going to get this bend properly. Step 5, get a tuner. Now, this might seem like a strange last step, but you won't know if you're bending right unless you have a reference point. This was apparent during my 90-day challenge. When I started using a tuner, I found that my bends were further off than I thought they would be, and some of them were embarrassingly so. To make the bend happen, a combination of all these steps is needed. Hopefully, you're getting bends by now, but it can take a long time for some people, so don't worry. I believe in you, and I'm sure you're going to get there in the end if you take this process and use it. Bending is challenging for beginners and experienced players alike. In this video, I show you the 3 easy steps to bending on harmonica. So, was it worth it? Definitely, and I highly recommend it. It definitely wasn't all plain sailing and easy, but it was the struggles that actually propelled me forward. Let me know in the comments if you've ever done anything like this or if you're going to give it a go. And check out my harmonica school. Links below. If you want to join a global harmonica community, we'd love to have you. If not, see you soon for more free harmonica lessons and tips. Cheers.